Good day, good day, good day, everybody. I hope you're doing well. Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good day, Tim. It's good to see you. Good day, Gladys. Back at you, Queen. I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for joining me today for Sip with Rev Melissa. And SIP is an acronym, Spirit in Practice. So good day. It's good to see you, Nan. It's good to see you, Ima. Yeah, it's so wonderful that we're in February. We are in February, and today is recognized as the first day of Black History Month. And so that had something to do with the direction my SIP took today, because I was all ready to talk about a new series. And as I was preparing for that, I got a download. And so I had to make the pivot because it was strong. It was strong. And I was like, resistance is futile. So let me just go with it, right, Wayne? Let me just go with it. So that's what we're going to do. So yesterday we recapped January, right? We recapped remembering, sheep, celebration, and discontent. And today I want to talk about life. So that's this week's theme. This week's theme is life. And although that was going to be the name of the theme, life, what I was going to talk about was something else. And like I said, zoop, download came and I shifted because this is what needed to be shared today. So I think there's a combination of the fact that, it's February, we celebrate Black History Month. The theme is life. And I also have been just thinking about how blessed I am and how blessed our family is. I was talking to a friend yesterday and she was sharing that she lost 5 family members over these last 2 years. Some due to COVID, but most due to other illnesses. And, that just got me into a gratitude space. Like, let's not take any of this for granted, right, Vanessa? Like, we are from a blessed family. Those of you that don't know, Vanessa Allen is my cousin, and I call her my cousin because our mothers are twins, and she's like a sister to me. So shout out to Vanessa. We come from a blessed family. We're very close. We're very close. And so that, I guess, was percolating still. The conversation I had with my friend yesterday, it was still percolating this morning. Even as I was doing my spiritual practice, I started writing about my family, just in gratitude. And so it got me thinking about my ancestors, right? And how life was for them, you know? And Rockland, where I'm the spiritual director, Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living, since we're in February, we're in a new theme for February. And the theme that I created for February is remember, life is calling. Remember, life is calling, right? And my ancestors answered that call of life. And because they answered that call of life, I'm here. Right? That gives me that gives me chills because they answered the call to life. I am here. I am here. So I want to honor them. I want to honor my ancestors on this first day of Black History Month. And I want to do so in this way. So some of you know that I'm an interfaith minister, and I recently, in August of last year, became the spiritual director at Rockland CSL. And part of that process was to become affiliated with Centers for Spiritual Living. And one of the things that I had to do was submit a narrative of my life. They called it a biographical. Remember, that would be something, a biographical sketch of my life. And this is how I opened it. This is how I opened it. Oh, did I not bring it down? Oh, shoot, I didn't bring it down. But I'm going to try to remember from the top of my head that I am the daughter of Eunice Gibson, and she is the daughter of Ethel Gibson, who is the daughter of Melissa Davis, of whom I am named. And I carry their power, their purpose, their joy, and their love. And I continue the lineage of ministry. I am Rev Melissa. So that's how I opened up my biological sketch. And the committee that read it and that paneled me to assess if I could become affiliated with Centers for Spiritual Living, one of the ministers shared with me that she's been on the panel for like 20 years, and she has never seen an opening like that in a narrative, application to become affiliated. And she was quite taken by that. And so we had this conversation. I ran into her at the CSL convention, and she brought that up again to me. And so we started talking about it. And we just started talking about our ancestors and, just the blessings and how we don't, well, she was speaking for herself, how she doesn't honor them enough. And I can echo that. We kind of take it for granted. All that was done in preparation for us, even though they didn't know at the time that that's what they were doing, right? And even though they knew at the time that that's what they were doing, right? Both and. So I'm named after my great grandmother, Melissa Davis. She died at a very young age. She died when she was 30 years old from some kind of blood disorder. And she died also about 3 days after she had given birth. And so we know even today that there's a high mortality rate of Black women dying after giving birth, right? So we're talking about my great grandmother. So we're talking about over 100 years ago. That phenomenon is still happening today. That's a whole nother conversation. So my great great grandmother, Melissa Davis Williams, had 7, I had to count twice, had 7 children, right? And one of those children was my grandmother, Ethel Gibson. So I want to put up this picture of my grandmother. Ethel Gibson is the woman who has on like the floral type dress. And right next to her is her sister, my great aunt, Mary Walters. And they were so different in personality. My grandmother was quiet, very reserved, loved God. And my Aunt Mary also loved God, but she was spicy. She was like, she will tell you like it is in a minute, right? Very, very different personalities. And they both were the matriarchs of my family growing up, right? Every Sunday at grandma's house after church, all this wonderfulness, right? And they embedded in our life as a family the importance of family, of staying together, of loving each other, right? Of knowing that there is something bigger than we are, right? Yes, Vanessa, very similar to our moms. Absolutely. Vanessa's mom is quiet, reserved, and my mother got some spiciness to her. Who did I take after? Right? So that was my grandmother and my aunt. So my grandmother, right, gave birth to twins, my mother and Vanessa's mother. And my mother is not on here today. She's usually on, but today she's not. I don't see her yet. So Eunice Gibson and Evelyn Carter. So let's put that picture up. There they are, the twins. And I bet you they did not plan to dress alike. They do that often without even knowing what the other is going to wear. So well, they both have on glasses. Let me see how I could distinguish. The hoops, the one with the hoops is my mother. And that is my aunt right next to her, my aunt Evelyn. And they live together, right? They're very close. So they're twins and they are very close. All of my life, my aunt has been stones thrown away from my mother. We grew up living in the same building, right across the hall from each other. Then we lived right across the street from each other. And now they live together with their older brother. So my mother, right? Talk about life. My mother sacrificed so much for her children. So my mother had 4 children, right? I am the oldest. And I have 2 brothers and a sister. And we were raised by a single mother. However, we were raised by my aunt also, and my other aunt, and my other aunt, and my uncle. You know what I'm saying? It was certainly a village, right? And because of that, my life was encapsulated in so much love. And so much love. Now, don't get it twisted, right? There was discipline, y'all. There was certainly discipline, but we always, without a doubt, knew that we were loved. We knew that we were loved. And so throughout the lineage of my family, ministry has played a significant part in it. There's always been ministers in my family line. And unbeknownst to me, growing up, I had no idea that I would become a minister. If someone told me that growing up, that I was going to be a minister, I would have said, y'all lost your mind, right? But here I am, right? So there's something about that call. There's something about that call that doesn't end with us, right? So my call doesn't end with me. My call will continue out through generations, right? And it might not necessarily be in this form of ministry, but it will be in a form of some ministry, right? We all have our gifts. We all have our gifts. And so our gifts are our ministry. And I learned that in my family, right? When I think about it, we all have a gift of ministry that is calling to us, right? And we all have the opportunity, given what we know now, given what we know about how life works for us, by working through us, we can heal so much, right? The generational healing that can happen for our family thread is so powerfully embedded in us, right? So life is calling. And I am so grateful that I answered this call. I am so grateful my soul answered the call to be a part of this family thread. This family thread, right? So you saw my mom. So let me show you my dad, right? Because I couldn't have got here without him. So this is my father, Johnny. So I wasn't raised up with him, but we have a very positive, loving relationship that took some healing work and that took some forgiveness work, right? And I did that work. I did that work. And here we are. I think it was on one of his birthdays a couple of years ago. And you'll see what shirt he has on, right? Another Prince fan. Yes, 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 yes. So just to honor this time of Black History Month, I wanted to share that. I felt called to do so. Maybe there's someone who's listening to this who can see their family in a different light, can maybe heal generational hurt so that it can stop with you, that we have the space to hold it and to heal it. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to come from a lineage of powerful, purposeful, loving women and men in my family. And I'm so grateful to be named after my great grandmother, Melissa Davis. So there you have it. My contribution to Black History Month and my praise and gratitude to my family. Yes. Oh, I didn't show my mom. Oh, I did with my aunt. So there's me and my mom. I think that was on a birthday. Sekou, I think you was with me. We was at my mom's house celebrating my birthday. And that was a number of years ago. But there we are. There we are. Yes, yes. Thank you for popping that one up. All right, y'all. So this week's theme is life. It is life. We will continue with this theme tomorrow, and we'll see what the download has. Maybe it'll be the one that was supposed to happen today. Oh, Pamela, thank you. Pamela said, I needed this today. I miss my family. So thank you so much. Peace and blessings, Pamela. Peace and blessings to you all. Let's get into. Thank you, Lindsay. Yes, we come from a long line of beautiful women too. Yes, yes, we do. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you. Let's get into some joy news, everybody. All right. So speaking of Black History Month, New Thought Media Network is also celebrating Black History Month with a daily segment called Black History Moments, a daily inspiration and prayer for racial healing. So they're doing this every day for the month of February, and I am participating. So they're about 3-minute segments sharing something, a Black History moment, and a racial healing prayer. So I'm just thrilled to participate in this. My day, I think, is on this Sunday, but they start today. So if you go to New Thought Media Network's Facebook page or YouTube, you will see today's segment. And today's segment is done by Reverend Sekou, I believe, the spiritual director at CSL Denver. All right. All right. Now, tomorrow is our Power of Visioning, and our special facilitator is Eugene Holden. So please join me every Wednesday at Rockland CSL. We do what's called the Power of. And so tomorrow is the Power of Visioning, our hour of power with Eugene Holden. He's an amazing teacher. He's an amazing prayer. Oh, he could pray, y'all. He could pray. He was the the leader for World Ministry of Prayer for 10 years. He also writes a column in the Science of Mind magazine every month of personal affirmations that you can carry with you throughout the month. So he is gifting the center with his gift. And so please join me tomorrow, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Go to Rockland CSL, click on the Hour of Power link, and you will be in the Zoom room. Okay. Then this Sunday, we have Living Life in Joy, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Please join me as we continue in the Black History Month veins. Like it's going to be something around there. All right. And then sip at Rockland CSL, 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And as I mentioned, our theme for February is Remember, Life is Calling. And my topic for Sunday is listen to life. Listen to life. So please join me for a Sunday celebration. You go to Rockland CSL, click on Sunday celebration, and you'll be in the Zoom room. And we also live stream on Facebook. So that is Sunday for you. Other dates to save. February 16th is our next meditation with the full moon. We're just doing full moons for 2022. So February 16th, new time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay, so that should work for the East Coast folks and for the West Coast folks. And that also works for me stopping everything by 10:30, which y'all know is my new thing. So February 16th, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right where you're watching me now. And we will continue with our after parties on Zoom. Save the date. I decided February 26th will be our vision board gathering. So February 26th, our vision board gathering, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay. So it's going to be from like 12:30 to 3:30. So we need a chunk of time so that everyone can leave with a vision board done. Okay. So I'll have registration information up for that soon. I just wanted to put the date out there and save the date, March 8th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to be at the Apollo Theater, y'all. I am so psyched about this. I'll be at the Apollo representing joy for their Healing, Liberation, and Joy, Mental Health and the Arts event. And so it's totally free, but you have to RSVP. And my part is about spreading joy in these trying times, spreading joy now. What can we do? And it's co-sponsored by the Apollo Theater and CUNY School of Medicine. And I am just so honored to be a participant on this panel. And it meets one of my goals that I have on my vision board, which is just so exciting for me. Yes. Vision boarding. It works, y'all. It works. I'm telling you, it works. And so you'll already have one of the steps done. And that step is to identify your quality, the feeling tone that you want your vision board to have. Okay. So I think everyone that's on right now has their quality for 2022. If you don't, figure out what it is, decide what it is, choose it, put it in the comments so I can capture it on the list. All right. So that's step one. And as we lead up to February 26th, I'm going to be giving you some preparation steps, right? To do. Preparation steps to do. Step one, your quality. Be clear about the feeling tone. The feeling tone is your quality. All right. So let me check in with Sekou, see how he's doing.
What's happening?
Hey.
Great photo gallery of the fam. That was pretty cool.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to circle back to something you said yesterday, actually. You were talking about what I said about Andrew Carnegie. So briefly, here's the here's the thing. Here's the story. So the human attention span has been reducing itself, especially with the advent of social media. So they say that the average attention span has gone from around 12 seconds to 8 seconds, which sounds small, but sounds even smaller because the average attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. So the average human being has less than the attention span of a goldfish, which is really crazy. Anyway, reversing, Andrew Carnegie went from a day laborer. He started off as a day laborer, like hammering spikes on a railroad, and became one of the wealthiest people in the world. And he did it so quickly that he was investigated by what became later known as the FBI. So they're like, no, you must be cheating. You must be doing something wrong. They came to investigate him, and he said, no, I could just hold my attention for 5 minutes. And they were like, that's not an answer. That's not an answer, right? He was like, well, you try it. And no one could do it. And that's when they decided to leave him alone. And that became his claim to fame, that he could hold his attention on something for 5 minutes. So imagine if we can just hold our attention for 5 minutes on something, the heights to which we can achieve, especially if we're going from around 8 seconds per thing to 5 minutes per thing. That's a huge difference. And you're already proving that when you're giving 5 minutes a day to your vision board. You're giving that intention. And that's a great practice. So I wanted to give the full story in case that resonates with anyone else out there who wants to expand their powers of perception and their ability to focus on something for a protracted period of time and not multitask. Focus in on something and see what that gets you.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the whole story. If you missed yesterday's sip, I was just sharing that I'm stacking the habit of my vision board with my transcendental meditation practice. So after I do my meditation, I get my vision board and I focus on it for 5 minutes. I set an alarm, a timer, and I focus on it for 5 minutes, right, in the morning. And then when I do my second TM, when I do my second meditation later in the day, I pick one thing on my vision board and I just imagine myself fully immersed in that, right? I create this whole positive future fantasy about it. I visualize and I'm really in it as if it is happening because our brain doesn't know that it's not. So that's a whole nother thing, but it works. It works. I've used this so many times in my life, and I know that it works. So thank y'all. Thank you, Sekou, for sharing the story and test it out, y'all. You only know if something works for you if you try it. If you not even try it, if you do it. If you do it and do it consistently and do it consistently. All right. So join me tomorrow as we continue the life series. Happy Black History Month, everybody. Peace and blessings, peace and justice. We're living life in joy, connected to our yes.